Okay, this one might be a long one. I don't know. I'm just kind of going to wing it, play it by ear, ramble on. It's the start of the new league year for the 2026-2027 season. We'll go through last year's recap real quick, probably the stats, mock draft, advance to resign, see who we want to resign, and then do free agency. Uh, so just bear with me. I'm not an editor. I don't do this for clicks. I just do this for fun and sharing. That's all. So Let, let's do the recap. We touched on it after last game when we had a heartbreaking loss to the Eagles at home with a fourth quarter touchdown. Jalen Hurts ran the ball in, and we couldn't. Our 2 minute drill just didn't execute. So Chiefs won a Super Bowl, four-time Super Bowl champion. Sean Dolach, however you pronounce his name, was the MVP. Patrick Mahomes got league MVP. Dave Canales, our coach of the year, well deserved. Team overachieved all year. They had a couple down games, but I think they did well. Offensive player of the year goes to the Bucks, Chris Godwin. The Jets, Quinnen Williams got defensive player of the year. Cam Ward with offensive rookie of the year, and our very own Nick Scorton, defensive rookie of the year. He that was just like he did really well. I went ahead and did we'll do that too. So, sorry. I know you can't read my mind if you're listening, but I did what this mod calls for. It doesn't do the XP like Madden leveling up. What it does is there's two times in the year where you can basically rank players up based on one is statistics, which we do this week in Steph Week, and it'll adjust based on statistics. It's a tool called the Stats Matter. Um, and then first week of the preseason, uh, there's like a progression tool where they base it off of some kind of algorithm with the player's ability, like their potential, the coaching, and I think we'll rank up certain players based on that before the season starts. So um, let me go over that real quick while I'm talking about it. So I ran that, and Bryce Young kind of stayed the same. Didn't really progress. He was out 5 weeks, and he didn't have the best of years, I would say. Um, Chuba Hubbard, I think he went up a little bit. We are getting Brooks back this year. This will be the first start of the season that he'll be a part of. I'm excited to kind of see what he can offer. Dowdle, I'm not going to re-sign. Just because, like, why? So, like when ETN, it can get more snaps at less money, and I may be looking at a rookie for a four-string guy. While I'm on it, let's just. I'm probably. I don't. His retirement's this week or next week? I think it might be next week, but I don't know if Andy Dalton's sticking around. Even if he is, I don't know if I need him. We'll use Plummer. We'll see because Plummer did, I think, overachieved. He wasn't great, but he played well when Bryce was out. Wide receiver. Okay, so we get all of our practice squad players back on our roster. Thielen regressed a good amount. I think he's around 80 overall. McMillan, I think he was what in the 75, 76 area. So he progressed a little bit. I can't recall all the ratings. And I'm not gonna go and load up an older file just to compare them because I'll end up forgetting them anyway. But so here we got Coker Leggett rated 74. Kobe Hudson was on our practice squad and he was rated high. I just didn't want to realistically put him on the 53 because I just didn't think it would be realistic. But hey, this year's an option. Renfro, who we did extend his contract to, just strictly out of potential sake, and I like his style. Um, I don't really. He wasn't as involved as I would have liked to have been. He did have like I did see him drop one or maybe two. We'll see if Horn progresses, Bond, Muhammad, George, and Tremaine. This kid kind of is interesting because he's 6'4", 212, high speed, high change of direction. Um, but we'll see. What I'm probably gonna do here is gonna have McMillan. That's 2, 3, 4, and then I probably want like 6. So it'd probably be a we'll see between the rest of the guys. And if there's a guy after the combine and pro day, if there's a receiver that's high speed, at least 6 foot, mid to late rounds, I may target him if I have the draft picks for it. It's also going to depend on, let's say there's a guy in the third round or fourth round, uh, any round, um, and I don't have a pick for it, and I like someone else, then obviously I'm not going to go with receiver. I'm going to be tempted because especially with as many pass plays every team calls in the league, like it may not hurt to have like a speedy 6 foot guy who could maybe progress. So I always get tempted by those mid round guys. I never really like wide receivers in the first round, and plus we have plenty of them. And I know we don't need them, but I do like them so much that I do tend to overdraft there, which I'm fine with. I could draft someone this year and then find someone next year and cut the guy I drafted this year. I just I just feel like what receivers has high potential to really progress in Madden and become a star. And if they become too expensive, see if anyone wants to trade for him later on. JT Sanders got a bump. He progressed. Um, I think he was around 71. So he really did. Hold on, I'm forgetting to do something here. So let's see. Bryce Young, he's still star rating. Let's see. Chuba, star rating. Wide receiver. Let's see. McMillan. Okay, he was a normal. Now he's a star. Let's look at. I think Thielen was a star. Now he's normal. Just average Joe. We get. I think he was. Was he a star? I don't recall, but we'll take it. What about Coker? Let's go through these real quick, because who knows? Like, what if like a Hudson all of a sudden is a star? No. Okay, I won't even bother the rest. I wish there was a little asterisk or something that popped up, so we have to go into. Let's look at JT Sanders. Normal. He went from 71 to 78, or maybe it's more 76, and he's a couple for morale or whatever TMP stands for. Okay, so we did that. I think Icky regressed a little bit. Let's look at. He's still a star though, but I'm gonna see some more out of him. I mean, dude, How do we do it? I don't know. I can't focus train him. Damian Lewis, I think he progressed. I think that's a for sure thing. And he's a star now if he wasn't before. Yeah, oh yeah, he definitely progressed. Yeah, he was. Moten was our highest rated one at what 85, I think. Mays progressed. He's still rated a normal guy. Corbett, I'm not gonna re-sign. Did I touch on that tight end? Sorry, I'm gonna be back and forth. Okay, yeah, this room is gonna stay the same unless I have a draft pick where someone is there that I kind of like, but I don't really see the need to. I'm probably gonna lean not to because Sanders did great. I want to see Evans progress. He'll be my second string, and then Tremble's still under contract. I don't have that many. If I had draft picks to spare, then sure. But usually the first season you don't. And with me trying to play realistic, I'm not gonna like be stocking up to where I end up with half the first round in 5 years. That got boring. Um, not gonna resign him. I don't know if I need him anymore. Uh, Hunt looks like he progressed. I've got these two guys. So yeah, already Zavala's on the outs. Sure. Now, of course, the progression tool in preseason might change some things. So I've got no need to cut anyone now. We'll see how that progression tool works. Who knows? What if like a candidate just jumps up a few points and can be our number one backup at the guard position. But let's see. Robert Hunt looks like he progressed a lot. I don't. Yeah, I do think maybe he was around what 80. So he's a star now if he wasn't before. Moten, can't recall. No, he was 85. So he didn't really move, and I can't recall if he was a star rating or not. Christensen said we re-signed with the thought that because at the time I wasn't really sure if I was going to re-sign Moten. We gave him a contract. How much is that per year? I don't. Maybe I overspent a little bit. 4 years. What is that? 14. So is that right? 14 million. So that's whatever that is per year. A little under 5 on average. Not bad. I mean, yeah, it's not bad. I like it because he can be the number one backup at every position, and he's rated high. And we drafted him. Let's keep him in house. What I would say is value the sixth offensive lineman. Now, um, with that said, I may not need to draft a guy, but I'm gonna lean towards doing so because I don't think I'm gonna find a prospect in free agency. I think you get the young guys who can progress and have potential in the draft. So I'll be on the lookout there, mainly to, and it may not be worth anything in a few years, but the point would be to be someone who could replace Bone and or replace Icky. Because I have no problems. Like if Icky just kind of remains stagnant, let's say when Damian Lewis is up for another contract and it's just high price, I can move Icky inside, play that guy who's been developing for a year or two to play left tackle or whatnot. Or I could draft him with the thought of being, with the potential and him not progressing. And then the next draft, I see someone who I like who starts above him. So, with like O line and cornerback and receiver, I don't mind if trying to concentrate or get someone with potential in the draft, and then having guys who can then be backups. Nothing worse than someone getting injured and then you just have somebody else's bitch constantly on every pass play. All right, so that's kind of the status there and the plan. I think Derek Brown progressed a little bit. He's a superstar if he wasn't before. Should have been. Carmody, I think he dropped. Wasn't he like 69? I think there wasn't much movement here, if there was any. Let's look at him. He was injured the end of last season, so he's a star rating, and he's a normal. Okay. I did go in and kind of like buff up his arms a little bit because on the field he wasn't looking 6'3", 320, or anything like a Deshaun Robinson does in real life. So I just kind of increased his arm size. Wished I could have increased more thickness, but that was all I could do. Hopefully it looks a little bit more realistic come next season. Now, what am I going to do here? Okay, so I heard through the rumor mill that the free agents there might be a guy I might target here who could replace him, um, or even Deshaun Robinson. So I like having. I want someone right now. He's starting at the 3-4 defensive end, and he's starting at the nickel packages at defensive tackle alongside Derek Brown. I kind of like that speedy guys for mostly pass sets, and then bigger guys for mostly running downs. Um, but if I can get a guy, to replace Robinson or Crumedy, I'll do that. Or if I include the defensive tackle in this, okay, I'm not going to re-sign Ika because it looks like it was going to be too much money. Now, if he hits free agency and all of a sudden the price is dropped, which I don't think it does, but then I would consider it. But here's what I'm thinking: I can't have a total of 6 guys, so 2 at each left end, right end, defensive tackle. I need a seventh guy. So mainly for injuries, so I can play. Don't have to sign a guy. So I'm gonna do. I think what I'll do is let me think about this. Yeah. So what I'll maybe I might keep Crumity. So let's say I don't resign Ika. I sign a defensive end to not have to waste a draft or use a draft pick on him. And then Robinson could be my like kind of jack of all trades. I move around just to keep it that realism. I don't want a Wharton playing nose tackle. He's only 280 pounds. I don't want Crumity doing it, and Derek Brown. I don't want playing nose just because he's Derek Brown, and I don't want to have. So Robinson will be my nose slash. Yeah, he'll be my floater. In case anyone gets injured, Bobby Brown will remain the starter. Cam Jackson backup, hopefully potential. Um, I I gotta I have to remember. I need to look at potential nose tackles in free agency. I think Bobby Brown III is a great signing for us in real life. I think he's gonna do wonders right now. He's not. He's not. I would like a better guy there to help stop the run. So if I can find one, I will and reassess who I'm signing going into next season. But Ika's not gonna be it, man. I like him to be, but I ain't paying what was it, 3 million a year for 67 overall. Nope. Next. All right. Scorton, man, he jumped a lot. Like what, like 10 freaking overall, and now he's an X Factor. Look at that. That's good. That he got rewarded. Wallace, he was around what 75. Now he's 79. Normal rating. Anderson's kind of like my um, not really. What's the word? Heralded or very known. He's kind of an unknown great middle linebacker in my when it comes to Madden in my book. Roseboom won't be resigned, and I'll probably be looking at a third middle linebacker here, and then we'll probably cut Jewel. He what is this? Is this his last year of his contract? Let's take a look. Yep. So I don't. We're gonna have $4.5 million in savings. Yeah, I'm gonna cut him. Um, if I can wait till the preseason, I'll wait. But if I need cap saving or some cap space for free agency, I will. Not going to resign Roseboom, and the main reason why is because as I've said in other game videos, when I saw Troy Anderson, who normally I would even trade for, like use a middle round draft pick, and I develop in my franchise. Now this might be different because I can't focus, develop, and train him. But once I saw him, I scooped him up, and it kind of pushed Roseboom out. Otherwise, I'm a fan of Roseboom. I think he could do great in this coming real life Panther season. But I'm not going to re-sign him, so I'm going to need a third middle linebacker. So I'm going to look at that in free agency and the draft. Most likely draft because the guys I tend to look for, uh, aren't all Troy Anderson, and they usually cost a good chunk of change. But I may be looking at a change of how I kind of perceive things. See, here's what I don't get, okay? Because I want a guy who can recognize the run and hit the fucking hole. Wallace seemed to be doing that for the most part, or a decent amount, but his play recognition is low. And I tend to go with change of direction. So I'm trying to like understand as a rookie and assistant GM here, like what helps that like quick reaction, get to the freaking ball and tackle. Now they do that, but we weren't that great at in the run game this year, So I don't know what it means, man. Like speed, so speed's got to be in the high, at least mid 80s, preferably high 80s, all throughout. So I'll keep an eye out, but I do need a third. Um, Sorry, I'll get back to that. But Wanham also these two progressed a little bit here. I think, yeah, dude, he was like at what 71 now, and he was what 75, 77. So yeah, good thing I re-signed Wanham for about 3 million a year. That's a great value signing. I want to see him progress, but he's coming in on passing down sets, and then he's 3 4 down sets as a backup to them. So yeah, dude, I'm liking that. But kind of like wide receiver, I'm always on the lookout for a guy with size and quickness who can also have some zone coverage ability to play that outside edge rusher in a 3-4. Um, yeah. So let me think about this. Let me put words into my thoughts. Words to my thoughts. I need two at each, at least. So I've got two here right now, three here right now. Let's say I get a guy. So I could cut DJ Johnson or Patrick Jones, and I could wait until the preseason to do it. So I would have three. So maybe that guy can be kind of the floater between all three, in a sense, to kind of have a guy in case someone gets injured. So I could technically get rid of these two, get rid of this one, and that's my minimum I need, and then get a guy, uh, at least one guy, and feel decent. So if I can get two, again, I like to stock up on wide receiver, potential at wide receiver, potential at linebacker position, edge usually. But yeah, cornerback's another one where if I've got six guys, good. I can move them to free safety. Sometimes they're, not really strong safety. I don't know. I like my safeties to be multifunctional, so really like not a just guys that could go hit the box or play center field. But um, I do tend to, if I have a cornerback, and I'll show you here in a second, but I would use a bigger corner at free safety when needed. Okay, Jackson regressed a little bit. Um, I don't know how they base it off of. I think he had a good year, not a great year. We were pretty darn good against the pass. I think we were ranked third. This guy I got off a trade to the Giants. I gave him next year's seventh round pick, and they took it. Um, so I think that's a great pickup. I think that kind of like how we got Mike Jackson for what was it, a seventh round draft pick that we were gonna cut anyways, and somehow we ended up with Mike Jackson. So lightning struck again with Banks, and hopefully he does well. He's a former first round pick for the Giants. And he fits what I'm looking for: 6'2", 205, speed, change of direction. So, he's going to be fighting Jackson for that starting spot. Farley is going to be a free agent, and he fits what I kind of look for. Um, but if I got 1, 2, 3 going into next season, 4, and this is the spot where I would want to, if there's a free agent, which I think there will be, they'd be my fifth. And I don't know, maybe I draft a guy too, who'd be the sixth. So because he's rated low 70s, I probably won't sign him. If after the draft he's still there, or you know what, maybe we'll see how the cap is. Maybe I could sign him to 1 year so that no one else picks him up. And then if he doesn't make the roster, I cut him if I've got enough cap space. Charles Smith Wade, I just, dude, it'd be so nice if he just doesn't fit what I personally look for. So he might be on the outs because he got 1, 2, 3, 4 plus the free agent and a draft would be 6. These two guys might be on the out. or they could battle the draft kid, the draft pick guy. Yeah. So yeah, I don't think I need to re-sign him. And I may cut Smith Wade. Now we also had Bartholomew, who I just moved to free safety. I wanted to see him, neck and neck with Richardson. I kind of want to see, do I need to look at a potential safety in a young kid in the draft? Because he's got speed. The change of direction is not good enough for cornerback, in my opinion. All right, so I'm just comparing him to Richardson right now. Oh, dude, yeah, that was my worry. Is like, no, wait, what was my worry? Hold on. My worry was more like tackling, and that's what it was. But I don't know. Okay, here's my thought process on being assistant GM for a Madden team. Do I really care that much about tackle? Like tackle? Okay, this is gonna come. I don't want him to be the last guy, and obviously gets played, and the opponent breaks his tackle. That, of course, don't want. But if my guys are fast and they get a hit on a guy, usually there's a second guy there, except for those situations where there's the last line of defense. But sometimes even then, you could hold up the, you know, the opponent long enough for the other guys to catch up. So yeah, I'm gonna consider this. He doesn't have the power. He has pursuit. Block shed is the same. Oh, he's got a 99 personality. Look at that. But so does Richardson. Oh wait, yeah. Where's injury? Where the hell? What am I? What am I lost? Oh, I don't see it here. Why do I not see their injury rating? Am I in depth chart or something? No, I'm not in depth chart. 86 versus 9. Okay, I mean, and here Richardson, I'm a fan of in real life. I want him to succeed. He just might be one of those where look like 77 change of direction. Uh, and on the field, it didn't he didn't stand out really to me. I would say he probably had as just bad plays as many as good plays. So like compared to this guy was fun to watch. So he doesn't, he's got. But see, here's the thing with this guy. Like they tend to take the second string strong safety and put him near the box, who fits, on those some defensive sets, and that kind of fits with what this guy was or is in real life, which was a linebacker who I moved to strong safety to kind of just fit that role because I noticed that I saw it on the field. It was happening. Now again, this is new to me because I've always played these games, but I'm in watching these as an assistant to the GM. I I've just noticed that. So I think he played well. I think he's definitely room for improvement, but I am pleasantly pleased with this dude. I'm glad with my decision. I'm patting myself on the back for that one. Now, these two guys were on the practice squad. Um, I'm the, maybe this guy has a chance. So I'll keep them on the squad. Figure out what we could do. Maybe put him on the practice squad again. I don't know. But right now, I like him there. So I'm feeling good about strong safety right now. I'm feeling I might want to bring in competition here. May not need to though. So if I don't have enough picks and I'm looking at picking between free safety and another position, I might not do it. Okay. Oh, okay. So shoot, here I went on a freaking tangent about depth chart and the off-season plans, and not really going over what I was supposed to be here. Wallace, okay, he ranked up, he progressed, he progressed. We talked about those guys. Oh, I guess okay, maybe I didn't really venture off too far from the topic. Um, I think no, I don't think he progressed at all. I think that he was a 75, and that's just like morale. He regressed. Morig progressed. That's what we forgot to do. So Wallace was still a normal. Wanham is now normal. Uman Mielen is now a star. He was a normal. Okay, that's good to see. Horn is. I think he was always a star. I'm not gonna. I'll look at him, but I'm not. I think. Oh, okay. Was he a star already? He may have already been one. I don't know. Morig was. I can't recall. Well, he's a star now. And what was he rated, man? He was definitely not 85. Ransom, what is he now? A star. He was definitely not. Was he? No, he wasn't a star. No more. I mean, he's just a lunch pill guy. Kicker. Ooh, can't remember if he where he was. But whatever, dude. He's our kicker. Finally, the Panthers, with me coming in, forcing them to keep the fucking young kicker with potential for the future. Punter, dude. I think this is kind of, in a way, kind of cheese, but I'll explain why it wasn't. I didn't like the product on the field. I didn't like it. So I looked at free agency. He was sitting right there with the 98 kick power, and I cut Sam Martin and signed him. Okay, if making a smart decision when someone's available is cheese, then dude, pour the queso on me. Okay, here's here's our draft picks. Uh, that's my goal, man. My goal in life is to make someone laugh. Just one person laugh. Luckily, I cracked myself up, so mission accomplished. All right. Here's our picks. Only got 7 of them. The following year, only have set. Oh shit! I forgot we traded that 7th for the Banks cornerback. Okay. Year after that, yeah, I have 7. So here's my goal. Right now, based off the top 50 I've looked at, no one really stands out. Now, of course, the combine and the pro days could change my mind a little bit, but any of them that could change my mind have been mocked to not be there at 28. So I'm gonna study it. I'm not gonna do it on stream. It's gonna take me a while and kind of like I get into it. I create a spreadsheet and I look at every prospect that had good pro days, good combines, what I'm looking for in positions, then I kind of rank them. I don't spend that much time on it, but I spend some time on it. I take my job seriously. And if I don't see a guy, then that's going to fit my goal of put punt to next year, so that in this draft 2027, which is a deep quarterback class, um, I have hopefully 2 first round picks. Now, am I trying to get Bryce out? No, dude, it's a good problem to have. But if he ends up, I got like even if he ends up being good, and if pick 28 turns into anything better for the next year, and it and if someone's there, fuck it, I'll take him, and then see who I like seeing play better. Um, of course, that wouldn't be a good sign for Bryce, but why not? Like maybe if if he's great and I draft another kid in 2027, uh, then I could trade him for future more draft picks. That quarterback is the one position where it's like stock, man. If you could buy it and you're pretty darn sure it's going to increase in value, then do it. So this one, in theory, of course things have to go well. Pick 28 could turn into who knows just by itself by punting to next year, even maybe as best as pick one. Let's just say let's say it's pick 8. Okay, I'm just picking 8 in the top 10. You still get a quarterback who is fun to watch and plays well, and then you can then take the Bryce that you have. What if it turns into another two first round picks? So that I don't see why we wouldn't be looking at, man. Like I ain't gonna be cheesy and just fucking pick a guy, and while he's, because that's while he's basically just a situational player. Because who I love talking draft. I've talked about it so many times in videos. Um, like who am I gonna fucking draft and really highlight this year at pick 28? It's not gonna be receiver. It's not gonna be tight end. Uh, is someone? Am I gonna draft someone at pick 28 who's gonna come in and supplant Icky? Even if maybe, maybe, but I'm telling you, man. Like, if you play Madden, you could find a guy in rounds 2 or 3. And maybe that's what that punt to next year does. Okay, so not gonna be one of these guys. Like, I don't care if there's a center who's like fucking rated 82 overall. Cade Mays is my guy. Um, Derek Brown, Wharton. Okay, defensive end. Okay, like, is he really gonna be that highlighted though? I mean, is he gonna be? I don't know, man. Like, that's just not that exciting. Nose tackle. Um, not gonna replace him. Not gonna replace. Hold on. Let me get back to this. Middle linebacker. Not gonna replace these two guys. So this is okay. This I admit. This is one where I was like, okay, that could work. I could get a first round guy and play him alongside Wallace, who looked good, and then he could be just a nickel sets with either Wallace or the kid, and that could be fun to watch and help as well. Um, but that's where is he going to be there at 28? And I don't know. We're going to know before the draft. Um, Here's the other one I could maybe bring in, but I tend to lean not now because of the moves we've made. Getting Banks, getting this guy off a practice squad, this guy off a practice squad, even though he may not make the roster now. Like, like I said, there's one player here, two, three, four, and is someone going to come in and play better than Banks and Jackson? He's probably going to be right around this range if I use a first round pick on one that I even like. And the players I looked at weren't 6 foot, 200 pounds. They were like, if they were 6 foot, they're like 180, like this guy right here. So I mean that's fine. Okay, maybe guys are more are thinner these days. Like Sauce Gardner. Yeah, I could be okay with that, but I just don't like what sounds better. What what sounds like a better plan? Punt or take a guy who could work out here? I don't know. I'm more excited about punting the next year. He's not gonna. No one's gonna supplant him, and I'm not gonna let anyone supplant him right now. So, and I'm not gonna supplant him either. Punter, yeah. I could. He may not even go get signed again. So, I'm gonna see what can happen in the draft. Look for guys with high strength, and that could save me some money in the cap too. So, all right, I think we covered all that. I think we're doing good. What else before we go to the free agency? What else did I want to kind of go over? I think I was gonna let's do the mock draft real quick. Um, all right, we got Drew Aller going number one to the Browns, who that was technically a Jaguars pick. Of course, this is going to change after free agency. This is the number one ranked edge guy right here, so New Orleans could, you know, get to our quarterback with that guy. Um, See, even if we had the 10th pick, and as much as that, as cool as that be, oh, I don't know, man. That's just tough because, well, I guess it could be cool. Because let's say you move Morig to strong safety, have him at free safety, and then um, Ransom would be our big nickel guy. I'm assuming that's a big nickel guy that comes in on some pass sets, but that would basically push off Nomura. So like this is a guy 6319 I would probably go after if he fits that. 66304 Browns with two quarterback picks. Man, I really hope it doesn't do that. Could you imagine that? Dylan Gabriel, Shadur Sanders, uh, Drew Allar, and Cade Klubnik. Isaiah World. That's a good name for a player. Um, where are my middle linebackers at? Oh, here we go. Okay, so he could fall to us. This is one of those I need to look into after the pro day. Yeah, so dude, I trust me. As much as I just talked about punting, if someone like him fits what I'm looking for, I have no problems doing it. I'm tempted to punt, but I don't know what I'm getting next year. So yeah, dude, I know I sound hypocritical. I go back and forth, but right now I think I'm leaning towards punting. Um, yeah, and in other videos I did talk about maybe an option with the first round pick of instead of punting, maybe trading for an existing guy who's maybe not a starter, but someone that fits what I'm looking for. Really like the name that came up was Peyton Wilson, who I'd love to see as a Panther, even with the lower injuries rating. Um, but then I got to thinking, and I compared the two, and I kind of already have a Peyton Wilson, but without the bad injury rating, and that's Anderson. So, but it still would be cool. I ain't gonna lie. And I'm not even an NC State guy. Dude, I think I don't know. I like the potential there. I wish the longevity could be there too. All right, so that covers the mock draft. For now, it's kind of much ado about nothing until after free agency, though. Okay, we were gonna go over. We went over staff moves a little bit. Here's just a quick look. Let's just look at head coaches. Shanahan fired. Raheem Morris fired. The Falcons hired Nagy, and then say Niners hired Spagnuolo. So here's the cool thing about this mod. Um, if you're into this kind of thing, one, all the coordinators have names and faces to realistic current coaches. Two, uh, there's a tool on there that I've already activated for this season. Is that hold on, I'm probably gonna butcher it with my mumbling and stumbling, but basically the playbooks change according to the coordinators also. So if how did they word it? So if it's let's say in the case of Spagnolo, right? He's a defensive guy. He's going to run his defense is going to be his defense. It's not going to be the coordinator's defense. The Niners defensive playbook now changes to Spagnolo's. And in the offensive um, one will stick with whoever his offensive coordinator is. So if you have an offensive head coach, your offensive playbook will be his, and the defensive coordinator, the defensive playbook will be the defensive coordinator's playbook, and vice versa. If you have a defensive head coach, you get the defensive playbook matching the head coach, and then the offensive playbook matches the coordinator. Okay, so I thought that was kind of cool. Um, all right, let's go over. We didn't go over this at all last last week. We can kind of you can kind of tell by the standings based on the mock draft stats. We went over awards. We're not going to go over that again. Um, we can kind of see team stats in a different window, a different view. Let's go over player stats real quick. Just a quick, just hey, I don't know, might be kind of cool to know where we stand. We can go over the top three at each major category, but let's see where we stand with stats. Okay, keep going, scrolling down, and we're gonna hit. Where's Bryce Young? He's in. Oh wait, we must have passed him. There he is. All right, 2,900. Didn't reach 3,000. He was injured for 5 games. Touchdowns. Who led the league? Mahomes. Completion percentage. Who led the league? Mayfield. Followed by who's another? Hurts. Where was God damn it, he's so small. I need to find him. There he is. 63%. Who led the league in interceptions? Kyler Murray, tied with Caleb Williams. And Brock Purdy, man, you're fucking not really okay. Richardson. I'm not gonna go over who progressed or regressed throughout the whole league. That's just too much. Yards per game. C.J. Stroud. Rating. Who got the best rating? Okay. I was gonna guess Baker Mayfield, and that holds up because he was in running for MVP most of the year, and I would say he gets it because these guys didn't have enough reps attempts. But oh man, Jacoby Brissett not looking too bad to the Cardinals right now. That's not bad. I would say he played enough to get a opportunity somewhere. All right, the longest 92 yards, Anthony Richardson. Damn. Mason Rudolph, Brock Purdy, Bo Nix. What was Bryce's? 79. Oh yeah, there was that one. Who got sacked the most? I've never even done this in my franchise. This is kind of fun. Ooh, Richardson got worked. A lot of it's probably him though. I'm just being honest. May got worked. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. He's not the Richardson type that goes and runs and tries to scramble. Um, where does Young fit on this one, man? I would say pretty damn fucking good. 29 sacks. Okay, that's pretty. Is that good? That's pretty good, isn't it? All right. Who led the league in rushing? Isaiah Pacheco. Where does Hubbard? Okay, 909 yards. Damn. See, we just didn't run enough. I'm gonna fix that. Before the Eagles game, I talked about I met with Dave Canales in the playbook, adjusted some things in the game plan. Didn't know I could do that, and it's a learning curve. So I'm gonna keep adjusting that. In the Eagles game, I didn't like how many times we were in the shotgun on first down. I let him have his first down and just said, okay, you go with what you have. But now I'm gonna micromanage that a little bit more. Who had the most touchdowns? Rookie Quinshawn Judkins. Where did we stand with Hubbard? Not too bad. Average. Come on, you need to have some attempts here, man. And it can't be a quarterback either. Who has who? Here we go. McCaffrey, 151 attempts. What's a okay? Somewhere around the 200 range. Let's just keep going until we see like a good. Here we go. Jonathan Taylor, 5 yards a carry. Jameer Gibbs. Okay. Who had the most broken? Who had the most fumbles? Damn. All quarterbacks, bro. You guys are a fucking problem. Look at all those quarterbacks. And then Isaiah Pacheco and Chase Brown. Most broken tackles, Isaiah Pacheco. Longest run, 99. Not, wow. There you go, CMC. P.S. I'm not opposed to maybe having a reunion with him if he's a free agent down the road. Just saying, towards his tail end years, maybe right around the time we're contenders. Yeah. Okay. Wouldn't that be something, huh? Maybe even have him help in a run on a run. Receiving yards, AJ Brown. Let's see. Where's the first Panthers guy? I'm gonna say it's. I'm gonna go out. Who? I'm gonna say Thielen. Yeah. Fucking 3 days later. There we go. Thielen, 855 yards. Who got the most catches? Brown. I'm not gonna scroll down that far. Fuck it. Oh, here we go. Not bad. Pretty damn good. Is he the first tight end? Ranked. Is that eighth? One, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eighth in the league. Damn, bro. Not bad. Imagine if that was Tyler Warren. Again, just saying. Um, Touchdowns. Godwin, Downs, Pearsall. Okay, who's the first Panther? I'm gonna say, man, we might be scrolling a bit. I'm gonna say McMillan. That's my guess. And no, I haven't really looked at these. Thielen with 6. Uh, didn't McMillan have like 5 before he got injured for 10 freaking weeks? Am I tripping? Oh yeah, cause there he is, 5 because he didn't get one on his last game. All right, long. Well, that would have been Jonathan Taylor. Oh, Richardson. Yeah, you probably just dumped it off to Taylor and got that guy. All right, let's keep going here. Who got the most? Who got left? Oh shit, I don't even know if I want to look up who gave up the most sacks. Aquanu, 18. Shit, Fuaga. Okay, where are the pancakes, bro? Where are the pancakes at? Crom, are you kidding me, Blondie? Oh, Kid Downs played because he played 17 games. Oh, it must be like special teams or something. Okay, I see you, Lindstrom. Damn, are you a free agent, bro? All right. Most tackles. Okay, I'm gonna say Wallace. If I don't get bored scrolling down here. You know what? Yep, Trevor Wallace, 58 solo. Wait, oh, that's assists. No, that's tackles. But he got 58 solo. What's the highest there? 152. I'm gonna say Scorton leads the league in tackles for losses. Bam, tied. Okay, okay. So am I guessing he got defensive player of the year because he had more solo tackles? Because they're even with tackles for loss. He got less sacks. It's got to be it, man. He probably got the nut. Damn, Scorton, you were there, bro. All right, who got the most sacks? 22. I think the record's what, 22 and a half. So yeah, you got to hit that 23, man, to be on the record books. Now, mind you, I did have to adjust a couple times throughout the year to improve pass blocking. I went with what was recommended highly touted CPU versus CPU game sliders, and I adjusted twice. I helped improve the pass blocking because it was looking like okay, this might be realistic, and then like halfway through the season, I'm like, wait a second, this other players are getting like they're on pace for like close to 30 sacks this year if this keeps happening. So adjusted it twice. I did not adjust player ratings. I just adjusted the pass blocking. Um, so maybe I, I guess it's still up for debate on whether or not did I adjust too much. And next year we're looking at, in the highest is 14. I might have to pick it up a notch if I adjusted too much. Most interceptions, 8 by Reed Jr. And then, man, our guy isn't even on the top list there. I'm saying Morig, right? Yeah, he was up there. Yeah, with 4. Okay. How many deflections? 22 to Jay Ward. I'm not gonna look at who forced the most fumbles. 4. Ugh, gross. Gross. How many blocks? Okay, we got some blocks in here. Safety. Come on, didn't we get like 2? He got 2 on his own. I know we got at least 1. Touchdowns. Okay, man, these guys. Kenny Moore. Kool-Aid. Alexander, Quan Martin, Taron Matthew. That guy, I'm surprised he's still playing, man. All right. Oh, see, yeah, dude. Our kicker, man. That's exactly why he didn't win Kicker of the Year. Oh, here we go. I was looking at the wrong percentage. Well, no. Wait a second. Well, that guy's clutch. That guy's clutch. So I think this guy won Kicker of the Year for the NFC. And I guess it's just quantity, right? He only missed 1. His longest was 55. But what was the longest field goal this year? So let me keep. None were blocked. He was 32 for 32 on extra points. Okay, this doesn't keep track of percentage on the distance. All right, let's look at the longest. You got the longest field goal, and ours was what, 55? Yeah, 55. Okay, hey, I live with it, man. I like it. I guess just out of curiosity. Nobody got 2. Yep. Yeah, those punt returns, man, those are just lame. Surprised people. Kickoff returns got some touchdowns, though. All right. I think that's it. I think everything else would be kind of boring. All right, let's just do a quick save for backup purposes. I think I already had. Oh, I know I already had. I'm paranoid. And let's go to resign players. Look at the retirements first. I'll scroll through real quick. About time, Trent. Von Miller's gone. Travis Kelsey's gone. About time, Calais. Jeez, bro. We're about to roll you out on a wheelchair there. I have the walker. Levante David's gone. Maybe we could go through the teams in our division too. Kind of just Aaron Rodgers is gone. And don't let the door hit you. Oh man. I mean, does anyone care about these guys? They think they go by rating, don't they? I didn't see any Panthers. No. But I don't know if since Thielen's technically a free agent, would he pop up here? Let's look at the Saints. Demaro Davis. Let's look at so we got trying to figure out which way is the faster way. Buccaneers, Levante David, and then Falcons. Nobody. Okay. Position changed. Draft class edit. Contract restart. Oh, okay. Let's look at who. Okay. Oh, shoot. My only option right now is right now my only option to accept this. Okay, I'm gonna wait here. Let's see. What do I wait? No. Yeah, I'm gonna wait. What if there's someone else who's just as cheap, but maybe he's a little better? I don't know, man. He's kind of shoot. I'm not gonna accept that one. Fuck no. Not gonna sign. Not gonna sign. Look at that. 3 million a year, bro. No. Oh, dude. Yes. Yes. Of course. What am I thinking? Of course, bro. I'm even gonna give him a little bit more just so I don't chance it. Negotiate. Let me think here. Let's go with. Okay, so what? He was mediumly interested. Okay, how much does it really affect the cap? Like 200K? I don't want to chance it, bro. I'm sure this would. He'd probably sign. But you know what? We're going to reward the players we like. My question is more of like, do I want one or two? Because if I do, I have a feeling he's gonna give me a reason to for him to stick around. So, but here's the thing: if that gets proven, if I just do one, then I can sign him for longer at a cheaper rate than if I have 2 years to for him to continue to develop. So I'm gonna go with one. Yeah, 1 year. Give him a chance. See who we get in the draft. He's a good bat. He's a good like big nickel guy, and I could always revisit it later next year. Okay, cool. Glad you're back, bro. Not gonna sign. Not gonna sign. Not gonna sign. Okay. Sorry, Thielen. Couldn't get you that ring. We tried, and you helped. You were a great contributor. Um, yes. Okay. This guy, like, okay. Yes. I just cap purposes only. I can't do it to be a backup. He's a great backup, but no, can't do it. You're going to be cheaper than 20 million a year. I'm sure. I'm sure of it. So no, not doing that. I guess I would think I'm sure of it. Here's where I'm not sure. These two. Hold on. Let me just focus on Jack, the snack plumber, right now. Okay, so uh, I would normally just wait. I would wait to see free agency. No one's gonna fucking resign his ass. Or sorry, no one's gonna pick him up. But just out of, I guess, reward slash loyalty slash, am I gonna find? Because I guess here's what I'm thinking. I'm gonna probably find someone that's gonna be better at a price that we could pay uh, to be our backup. But that's the question. Do I want someone else? Yeah, let's wait. I'll wait. Okay. I answered my own question. I'll take a look at free agents there. Um, so here's the deal. So he's under contract for this coming year, and that's his fourth year. That's his last year under contract. And I don't know if I'm going to be in position to replace him, nor do I know if I want to. So normally, if I have my guy, I would say don't accept, sign long term uh, this coming season while he's still rated below 80, for example. So, but if I do that and then end up with a draft pick, I have him under contract for that time period. Oh, you know what I could do? So that's could I? Will he? Would he accept a 2 year? Yeah, let's say I don't, like that. I don't know. That's where I'm dumb when it comes to Madden and contracts. Like, if I don't accept, is he gonna cost me? He's not gonna cost me 50 million. But then would he accept a 2 year contract so that I could still trade him if I find someone else? Fuck it. I'm not doing it. I'm not. I'll just do a contract. If I'm thinking through this straight, we'll do a contract extension, even if it's like 3 or 4 years. I could still trade him, right? I just don't think he's going to cost that much. Hold on. Let me look. Let me see what I can find here. What's the going rate? What's the going rate for around 80 and 25 years old? Geno Smith, he's not 25, but yeah, that's kind of up there, bro. But that's shoot, I'm not gonna know, am I? Because the Raiders did that on their own. That's not the Madden Raiders doing that. Who recently signed in Madden? Sam Darnold? No, and man, I guess it's hard to say. Fucking watch, they'll still fucking end up in the playoffs. Oh, let me go back. 65. Goddamn. Yeah, dude. I have a feeling that fifth year option is gonna cost me more. Who? Well, hold on. What was that? Ugh. Damn it. Yeah. See, I don't have any examples in Madden salary, and I can't. I skipped this week. I can't accept the option. Yeah, fuck it. We'll chance it, man. We'll chance it. And here's why. Here's what's because he wants to rejoin us. Let's look at his motivations. Okay, that's another cool thing about this mod. They also there's a tool with algorithms to where it automatically reassigns motivations based on the algorithm includes like age, so like top of the depth chart as you can see you've never seen in Madden. It kind of like reprioritizes what the algorithm says they would probably be looking at. So in regular Madden, he probably wouldn't. We'd have like he'd have zero interest in fucking Carolina because he would probably have some weird motivation of like fucking no tax, a no tax state. Um, but yeah, so that's kind of cool. That kind of helps teams like us who. Oh, I think the main thing too was that they were trying to get away from like a quarterback back like Bryce having a top motivation of have already having a franchise QB as a motivation. So I like that part of the mod too. So yeah. So with that said, he's going to be interested in resigning us. He'll probably resign cheaper. We'll have time to kind of negotiate the contract. Um, and I'm betting, literally putting cap space money on it, that it'll end up being less than 40 million, and I could probably sign him for like 2 years and wait for a trade, and then just play the best quarterback. Maybe bring in the rookie. Okay, yeah, let's do that. Let's just pretend we're smart. All right, not gonna resign anyone else. Let me just see here. Is anything retirements, negotiate, scout players? Really, it's pointless. I'll do that before the draft. Advance week. You know what I really should do? I need to get used to this whole YouTube streaming thing because for fucking all I know, I might have someone watching and I would have no clue. And they might be commenting and I'm just ignoring their ass. Not that I would have anyone watching, I don't know. I mostly just do this so it's recorded and people can watch later if they so choose, if they like this kind of stuff. But yeah, it's sharing. I love to share things that I enjoy, and this has been enjoyable for me. So if anyone's commenting, I apologize. If you happen to be watching, I'm actually assuming no one is. I've been doing that this whole fucking season. All right, you know what? I should do it now. It's bugging me. How do I figure that out? I'll have to work on that. I'll have to work on learning how to do that. All I'm doing right now is going to my channel live. Uh, if hold on, if I click on that, let me turn the volume down so I don't hear my own stupid voice. Yeah, there's nothing in chat that I can see, and I think I'm the only one watching. Okay, cool. No expectations. Just how I like it. Good. All right. I don't need to see combine results, bro. I'll fucking look at after the pro day. Oh, you know what I can show you though. I remember because I mentioned this. Did not participate. Has that happened, or is this just the mod? I've never noticed that before. All right, I don't know. What I'm saying is that there was a tweet in the little news section of Madden before where someone said, "Oh, so I wish so and so would. Bad news, he's not going to participate in the upcoming combine." And I'm like, "What?" So I simmed it. I saved my game, paranoia, right? And I simmed it to the draft, and I looked at that that his combine, and that's what it said. So I was like, "Damn, dude, that's kind of cool, I guess." All right, moment of truth. Who's available with 20 million in cap space? Trey freaking Smith. Nah. See, look at all these interests, man. You realign the interests, and all of a sudden, like, you actually have a chance at not having to overpay people. All right. No one's really standing out that much to me right now. Nothing too extravagant. Like if I was in a market and had the cap space for a guard, but 20 that they're I don't even have the cap space for him. Quarterback. All right, who do we got here? So we are our guy is all the way down here. Okay. Who would I like? Let me look at speed rating. I'm not paying 4.5 million a year for a backup. Sorry. Hold on. Okay, let me. I'm getting distracted. Malik Willis, rated 65. See, dude, already, man. Already, I'm kind of like, over Jack the Snack Plumber. 1.89. What's Jack? 1.7. He's 26 years old. 61 overall. So, like, okay, see, look at it. No income tax is my main priority. Um, Obviously, it doesn't fix all of them, but or it doesn't change all of them. He's 31 years old. I actually like this guy. Who would be a good? You know what? Nah, not at 4.5 million. Fuck you. Do we go with a Trey Lance? No, I don't know. Let's go with someone potentially young, who's not named Zach Wilson. All right. If I'm going for speed, who are the guys that stand out? Potentially Trey Lance, 1.87 million a year. I kind of would like this because he's a North Carolina guy. I get it, but in real life, he's not a first round pick. He's not a starting quarterback, but this is just a backup role. If he cost the same as Desmond Ritter, I would probably do it for sure. I would do it. So maybe I keep that in a bet. Like 1.89, 6'1", 219. The speed's there. Let's look at change of direction. Who's got dibs on that? Still Justin Fields, but he's 4.5. Yeah, so you got Malik Willis there. I don't I like a story. I'm good with a story. Someone who's a like look at Jack the Snack Plumber, rated 61 and won at least one game, right, or two games for us when we needed it. Those two games right there, I think, got us the second seed if you think about it. So I think here's what should we do? So I'm gonna change the direction. So Malik Willis is there. He's probably the smarter sign. Yeah, he's definitely smarter than Trey Lance, but Trey Lance is taller. But he is balding like a motherfucker. It's kind of like that Moneyball. His girlfriend's ugly. You know what? Some people might hate it, but I don't fucking care, bro. Get your own fucking assistant to the GM position. I I think I'm gonna see who I sign and come back to this. Because if I have the cap space, I may want to bring a Daniel Jones and see if we can't get a resurgence with him should he be needed. You know? So, right? Okay. So let's look at my speed guys again because they're all there. Zero teams interested. They're probably not going to be. Um, Trey Lance, zero teams interested. I would probably go with, even though he costs less. I mean, that's Daniel Jones. Like that's 2.5 million more. I mean, I don't really like that, but if I not using the cap space anywhere else, and I need a quarterback. I'm okay with an extra 2.5 million. Yeah, I'm okay. Well, maybe I'm trying to convince myself here. Okay, running back. No, I'm not going to sign anyone. If I could probably get a free agent as a fourth string if I need it, or the draft. I would not be surprised if I find someone who's tempting in the draft. Um, Same thing with wide receiver, but let me just look here, like who stands out. Who the You know what? Here's what I'll do. Sort by speed. Quez Watkins. Nah, man, nah, I'm good. Nah. See, I think in almost every draft you can find a mid round guy who's better than this as far as speed and potential. Just you know, size speed guy. We don't really need a tight end. We have our four guys, but and I did sign my guy, my lead blocking guy. So you got. Oh, okay. Hold on. 2.26 a year. High, good lead blocking. Oh, the other guy's younger though. Yeah, let's keep the guy we have. No, okay. Right now, he's the only one who could supplant Icky, but he's 30 years old, and 17.7 million per year. Batonio. Oh, you know what? I need to not be lazy. This is why I said this might be a long one. Hopefully, I don't have to break it into two. I may have to pause here a little bit, feed the dog, heat up some food. Oh man, okay, let's look for guys that are cheap that are young who have potential. So let's do sort by age. 3.9 million a year, dude. That's a lot more than a draft pick. Sheed Walker, 26 years old, star rating. Yeah, see, it's just not worth the salary, man. I could probably get a guy in the draft. Yeah, never mind. Am I doing the right thing though by assessing it this way? Yeah, I think I am. I'm lean towards young guy or cheaper salaries. But oh, see like this. Ah, fucking. He's only 27 years old. Okay, I mean I'm not gonna do it. I can't afford it. But Interesting. Okay. Left end. Here we go. First, let's look at nose tackles. This is a 300 fatty pound guy, but he's 32 years old and rated the same as Bobby Brown. No, not worth it, man. Where's that Ica guy? Oh damn, 3 million a year, bro. You're too fancy for me, bro. 3 million a year. What the fuck? Why are these guys asking for so much? Strength rating. Nah, I can't do it. 3 million a year to be third fiddle? You could fuck right off. All right. Hold on, I'm looking for age and maybe a star rating. This is the guy. Okay, so this is the guy I heard rumored could be a free agent, and he's only 1.87 million a year, and he could come in and replace, yeah, both Crumity or Robinson. Yeah, he could probably replace Robinson too. I like this kid. Doesn't really want to come to North Carolina though, but we'll convince him. We'll convince him. So, and because he's a star rating, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go a little bit bigger contract. Like if it was kind of like a man, then I would chance it because he has zero interest, and I don't. I haven't played. I guess I just haven't done enough. I usually just don't even sign free agents and just go for the draft. But this is a little different because I'm playing realistic and not being tempted by trading players that are coming out of contract. Come on, I'm growing up here. So let me go look at right ends real quick and see what we got before I place a bid. No, he's not what I'm looking for. But I'm looking at him as, yeah, I don't want to spend 2.96 on an edge to be my fourth fiddle. Plus his own coverage, he can't play edge and a 3-4. Okay. And one last look here. One last look. Did I miss anything? Who can play defensive end in a 3-4? Because maybe I was focused too much on nose tackle. 6 million a year, 74. Nah, dude, this is my guy right here, man. My guy is Benton. Keanu, no less. Yeah. Oh, the speed sucks. But you know what? Nah, I'm cool. I'm cool with it. Okay, what was I thinking? Um, 72. So what was I thinking? I was saying out loud and thinking about. Normally, I would just kind of, yeah, because I want him. I'm gonna go ahead and go very player friendly to offset that interest level. So he's expecting 1.87. I'm offering 2.1 right now. He's 25 years old. Longevity compared to how long he might be on the depth chart. So he could be my third guy or starter. So I'm fine. As of right now, let's say I find a guy in the draft too. So you would have Brown, Benton, Wharton, and a draft kid, and then you can get rid of Crumedy if he isn't as good as the kid. And then Robinson's my yeah. Let's go with let's put some years on this one. Just to lock in what I think he could become with a star rating, which I does that really affect him with the mod? I don't know. You know what? Let's go realistic. Let's not lock in fucking old school like I'm gonna get someone for 6 years. Let's go with 3 years. That'll take him to 28 years old. And if I find someone in the next 3 years, he could still be a backup. And if I have to cut him after one or two, it's not going to hurt too much. So okay. So I guess it's just a question of like 3 or 4 years. Hold on. Let me think about this for a second. Yeah, dude. Because okay, even if you get a kid that ends up being in the draft somehow, you would have Brown, this kid, or the kid, and this guy, and then Robinson, and then Wharton. And Robinson's about yeah, dude. I might be okay with 4 years locking it in. Is that? But 4 years locking it in case he turns out to be really good. I have him for 4 fucking years on a low salary cap, and that's not even that much of a salary cap. So yeah, sorry, I'm thinking out loud because, like I said, I'm just gonna wing it. I'm gonna do it live. Hmm. Hmm. But I want to make sound decisions. He's a young guy. Takes him to 29 years old. That is kind of a long contract, isn't it? Plus, with this thing, like he could boost or he could bomb. Let's go with three. A little conservative, and that's fine if he ends up being a great player. So, so be it. All right, I went with very player friendly, 3 year contract. And he doesn't have any interest, so I think he's going to sign with us. All right, let's go. That's a linebacker. Who are guys that could play middle linebacker? So he doesn't have that, but or play recognition. This guy almost does, but he's small. Nope. Middle linebacker. Let's go. Play recognition. I'm scanning through change of direction here. This guy. 6'3", 242. 4.6 million a year though. Damn. 78 overall. I kind of don't need someone. No, I'm fine with not going with him because I have Anderson, and I could probably find someone. Definitely, I could probably find not his overall, but his speed and attributes. Maybe not play recognition, but doesn't that get ranked up? Oh damn! But he's 2.27 million a year. Tremaine Star player. He's 28 years old. Ooh, I might like this. Huge motherfucker. These good speed, good agility. Not what I look for in change of direction, but his play recognition is decent. So he's 77, top is 91. But you're talking about players up there. 2.27 million a year. If I find a draft kid, he could be the fourth guy, which is more than I need. I could play this guy alongside Wallace on rundowns. Zero teams interested. Cut Jewel. I kind of like this. Um, all right, I may have to stop this stream. My power backup is going off. I, but all right, I'm gonna go ahead and stop it right now and then fix this battery issue on my power backup. I've been running the computer too long and haven't changed my battery yet. So let's stop the stream now just in case it cuts out. You know what? Fuck it. Let's run until it cuts. Nah, I'm not gonna know when it cuts out, am I? Oh no, it will because the power backup isn't working. All right. Let me save it. I was on middle linebacker. Sorry for the technical difficulties, but I should go feed the dog and heat up some food anyway. So I'll probably start here in just a little again. Start one up again. All right. Middle linebacker, true man members. We're gonna think about it. I'll be back in a little bit.